Hi everybody, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, it was inevitable. We heard of selling some cruise ships. Well, guess what? All those cruises on those ships are now canceled. We have another report now where very popular tourist destinations in the Med are looking at capping cruise ship visits and limiting cruise ship tourism. We have a local government in the United States has just okayed a cruise port to more than double raise the port fees for that local destination. And yeah, the Residence cruise ship has been delayed its launch for a fourth time. So we recently announced that Celebrity has sold two of its ships to Greenbank cruise lines that go to the Galapagos Islands. Well, of course, that was inevitable. Those cruises now, after December of this year, are canceled. Over 1 year of bookings on those ships. If you're sailing to the Galapagos, you got to book those cruises early, and so people have been having those booked for quite a while. Of course, you're going to get your cruise canceled, you're going to get your money back, including non-refundable deposits as well, because they're canceled. That goes out the window. But if you decide, you can switch over with protected prices over to the Celebrity Flora, their newest ship, and do a cruise with them. They will also honor hotels and airfare cancellations up to a certain limit. I believe it's around $400. But yeah, a little disappointing news for those people who were planning those small ship excursions to the Galapagos Islands. One of them only holds 16 passengers, so you're basically like your own little private yacht almost with a group of friends. I can see a little disappointment there. We also have the Port of Seattle is now become the first cruise port in the United States to mandate shore power for home-ported cruise ships. So if the cruise ship's going to leave from Seattle, it's going to have to hook up to shore power. Hooking up to shore power, they say, eliminates about 80% of the greenhouse gases emitted by cruise ships. And they were originally scheduled to do this by 2030, but have moved that timeline up now to 2027. Now, in case you're wondering if they're mandating this on the cruise ships and the cruise ships are going to freak out, they actually say that the only reason they were able to do this was through the investment and the cooperation of the cruise lines investing in this money to get the cruise ports ready for shore power and have them up and running on their ships. So it's a collaborative effort between the cruise lines and the cruise port of Seattle. So they're not at odds with each other. They're actually working together and coming up with a timeline and a solution together, which is really fun to see compared to some of the other stories we see in other places. Like the next one, we all know how Bar Harbor is set to limit cruise ships next year to 1,000 passengers maximum per day, which is going to cut their amount of visits down dramatically, and we'll see what happens with some of the businesses that are there. They're trying to fight it in court. But one of the nearby cruise destinations, Newport, would like to pick up that slack, but the government says they don't have enough customs officers to be able to allow more cruise ships to go into Newport, and so they've been struggling to get more people there and everything, and they were really looking for like a big income boost coming into Newport and more money coming into the city, because every passenger who currently gets off, they have a $3 fee for every cruise ship passenger when the ship arrives, and a $3 fee when the ship leaves. So they're getting $6 per passenger even if nobody steps off the ship, which is just basically free money coming into your cruise port. You know, some of it goes back to investing in the cruise terminal area, but it's other money that you can spread around in your local area. Well, if you're not going to get more ships in because the government's not going to provide the customs officers, what do? Well, you get permission to raise those fees. So they are. They have now put the bill forward to try and raise the fees to $10 when you arrive and $10 when you leave, making it $20 instead of $6, an increase of, you got it, 230% all at once. Isn't it amazing how it's easy to raise the prices on taxes and fees by that much, but our salaries certainly never go up by that much anywhere unless you win the lottery. It's just funny how, oh, we need more money? Well, how much do we need? 230% more? Okay, let's just increase the tax fee. Done. Simple, and a solution like that. Kind of crazy. We also now have Villa V residents that ocean liner, it's basically one of the only ones out there running a full service. It's been in the news. My friends JJ Cruise are supposed to be going on it for like 2 to 4 months. I'm not sure how long now, but it keeps getting pushed back. The most recent pushback made it to sail today. It was supposed to sail today on June 15th. Well, when it came across those problems earlier this month, those problems are taking longer to repair, and so now it's been pushed to June 21st, another week. Now, they are looking after the residents who are already there, set to go. Hey, where's the ship? Why can't I get on? And they've putting them up in hotels. They've been putting them up in transit. They've even offered excursions and trips to the Canary Islands for them in the meantime to compensate for this delay that they have. I think they're stepping up and doing it right, and I'd rather see them get the ship fully repaired to sail before it actually sets sail, because then if you set sail on your first residential cruise ship, your first ship, and things and problems start breaking down and everything, that's what the reports are going to come out and say, and you're going to stop getting more people coming in and stop getting investors and more people in the future. So yeah, fix the ship, get it running, look after the people who are there and have already invested their money, and then off you go and set sail. So I think they're doing a good job there. And finally, a huge story now as a possibility of very popular Mediterranean cruise port destinations limiting cruise ships. But before I get there, let me just invite you to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already, if you want to keep up to date with everything going on in cruising, from the new port fees you might have to pay, to cruise cancellations, to the good news like Shore Power, Seattle, cruise lines working together. It's fun to hear really good stories like that. I'll try and keep you as best I can up to date so your next cruise is just a little bit easier, a little bit simpler, and maybe a little less frustrating. And I hope you'll join us here on the channel. When you hit that subscribe button, it really does help, and I really do appreciate it. Okay, let's talk about what just happened in Greece. Greece, a very popular Mediterranean destination. Thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people visit it, both by air, by ferry, and by cruise ship. Well, they are now talking, well, I think it's time that we limit cruise ship tourism. Not the airline tourism, not the other ferry tourism, but cruise ship tourism. And they're particularly looking at two destinations, Mykonos and Santorini, the two most popular Greek destinations out there, saying that they're looking at starting to limit cruise ship passengers in the future. Now, if you've been following along at all, you realize that some ships have already started skipping these cruise ports because of too many ships in port that day. Like the Sun Princess, during her inaugural sailings, canceled all of her Santorini stops and headed over to Crete instead. Well, a lot of people were disappointed with that because Santorini, of course, is one of those bucket list areas that they want to visit. When you picture Greece, you picture Santorini. That's just the way it is. And now they're talking about limiting those. Hasn't come out to say how much, who's going to do it, what they're going to do it. But when the Prime Minister comes out and starts saying, yep, it's time to start limiting cruise ships in Greece, you know a bill's coming down the way any day now, and the cruise lines are going to have to deal with this going forward. Well, let me know in the comments down below, are you surprised by any of this? How would you like to get a 30% increase in your money like the Newport, Rhode Island area cruise port just got permission to do for charging the cruise ships? Isn't that a little bit crazy? Well, I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.